Okay, hi, hello. I know the volume's gonna be kind of shit because I'm outside and I don't have like a. We're just doing it live. That's what we're doing it live. So I'm here on the ground outside. There's a lot of like little bug carcasses, carapaces. No, this looks like a recently deceased isopod. It hasn't gotten discoloration yet, but this is like a deceased isopod that appears to have its protein breakdown in its carapace, probably through extended thrombosis, not through death. So like, I feel like I really should make a video about plans or like my future. So I thought like, well, I'm just gonna show my notebook because this is like my portfolio, and I got this at a thrift store. See, it's like laminated. Took a big chance on buying this because I didn't know like if I was actually gonna make it work, but I tested like the length of some paper and it was like perfect for it. So I'm kind of just gonna go through my notebook a little bit. So this is like one of the first designs I made for, I call them space ferries. They're like this next generation, next level sub like altitude flyer glider, I guess you can say. So I was like doing the framework because essentially it's gonna have like a frame that's gonna has like attachable wings and stuff like that. But the frame itself is gonna be like hollow and filled with like a liquid nitrogen or like liquid methane processor. So that's what's gonna make it go like. So like I imagine this being used like on like Titan. I'm specifically designing this for like extraterrestrial travel. Like once you have a ship in orbit or like some sort of vehicle in orbit, you can actually launch people from these like pods. They'll be launched as pods, and from there they'll kind of like extend out into like all the different little pieces that they need, and like through minimal propulsion and through like recycling of liquid methane or like whatever the gas's quality is in the atmosphere, it can like self-propel. And so this design has like the classic like conical front, but it's like 3D, you know. So like the screen will come up here, and this area is actually designed to fit like 4 to 6 people. It's like imagine like a small room square with like the center console in the middle, and each person's like sitting at the station, kind of like you're on a space like slash submarine. It's like a cockpit, and then so this model on the bracers on the side has like detachable wings that will come off in segments and then like fan out, kind of like not industrial polycarbonate, like the things they use on satellites, like the special foil, but it's gonna be designed as like wings, you know, or like flower petal style. And then it always comes with like this little like handy dandy AI, kind of like novel it after a fairy, like a Navi or something. Essentially, like a center ball of like the computational unit itself that has like extendable wings and like the propulsion capabilities that can be like it can be like charged up when it goes back to the ship or whatever, like that. And of course, there's like designs and stuff on it. I even drew like a tripart like electromagnetic beam that can be used to like carry cargo or shoot lasers and stuff. So, and even like the wings have like collapsible wings, and so they're fighting these creatures. This is like how I imagine a movie. Like we seeded the atmosphere with a specific type of like plant matter, like bioorganic plant matter that was supposed to fuse with the environment, like the native soil, and through its processes of like photosynthesis and like all this development process, we're actually going to purify the soil itself and turn it into something that's more like agriculturally compatible with like an earth crop or like an earth hybrid crop. So like these plants are not designed for like agriculture. They're kind of designed to like reconstitute the soil like a giant bacterial algae bloom. So like imagine you would like drop. So like the purpose of these ships, like they go around like all the liquid methane lakes and like tributaries and stuff, and they would drop like these like seed pods that would disperse like algae and bacteria into the water, which would like absorb and process the methane and nitrogen to like oxygen and like nitrogen to like get up in the atmosphere and at least create like begin the constitutional process of like recalibrating the environment to our earth needs, which I think can be done. I think that's the next step. Even if we just take like small steps for the future, if we can just get our feet off the ground and get us there, that's the biggest thing. So I call them space fairies, and you're kind of gonna see me like work on this design because I basically just want to patent like the frame and like the concept of this, but the frame and like the propulsion systems and like mechanics to actually like continue, because you're not supposed to be like using liquid. It's supposed to be like a nitro boost. Like you use it, like you pop the engine basically to get it started, which can even be done like mechanically. And then all the internal gyroscopes and mechanisms are like self-propelling themselves. And so I had like this omniball, like omni wheel kind of thing where it could like a bat, like the bat cycle. So like it has like these individual rails that would like be able to move around on their own, and you could basically move like a deer in midair, like 360 no scoping. Oh, this is kind of, I basically just like, I love drawing like geometric models of it. This could kind of be like another model. It's more like Samus' spaceship, and you can kind of see like this is where I imagine like propulsion and electromagnetic like propulsion would come from. And I basically just draw like geometric designs to illustrate like the kind of forms you would imagine a next level of space could take. This, I could really take hours on this, but it's kind of self-explanatory. This was like the updated model. You can see it's a lot more, I think the lack of color actually makes it more coherent. You can see it has a base and it has like these rib sections, like a carapace that like like extends out and covers the base, and then the wings will extend outward in a fashion like a woo-hoo, woo-hoo, like so. You'd be able to like free glide through low atmosphere and like right above the ground like a speeder, and through like basically like negative fuel consumption. Like you could harvest methane while you're flying it. This is also like a sketch page, I guess you can say. This is like a next level camera I was trying to design where it'd have like filter lenses and stuff like that that were like come like on a circular wheel. So it's like more of like a designer camera, like so like Snapchat and Instagram filters, but more like aesthetic. And you could like have little interchangeable slides you could put into like that kind of thing. But I just love like the Nautilus, like nautical designs. So I'm always trying to, and like eyeballs. So I'm always trying to incorporate like those kind of things. So the little like circle rail would have the films, and it would basically like, you might even to like double combine them into like specific kind of shots. And so it's more of like for photographing people, but it's really cool. And I love like the little levers and switches on cameras. I don't like buttons. So I imagine like it's basically like a tiny, it's more like that. This is also another design. You can see I draw space fairies everywhere. And this is how I'd conceptualized a cybernetic attachment gauntlet. I basically, if you don't need to implant something, I don't think you should. Like implanting and permanent adhesion of cybernetics should be like not last resort, but it should not be like the first quality we look for, like abortion. Um, so I conceptualized different kinds of ways you'd like, because you want your finger to have this, like all the free movement and more. Cybernetics should always be an enhancing of an organic quality. I should always work with, because the organic is the base that we're working on. The only times we see as replacement is if it's like, a medical need, that sort of thing. I imagine this more of like for tools. So they have like these little magnetic circles at the end that you could attach like specific tool parts, like a screwdriver or something. So you attach like your bit to it, put your finger, and like it like spins on its own. So like you wouldn't need to get an actual tool, or you could have like a tool attachment. You could like stick the screwdriver onto like a little magnetic base, like a hole, like a cigarette lighter, that kind of thing. And then from there you could either through your brain, like it'd have like a little attachable, or like a little thing on your mouth, like move, like you could have like little hot like keywords for it. So I think this kind of design is the best. And so it's a circle, like a half semicircle. Um, it's like this, two semicircles on a square. So like square, and then move the top and bottom with semicircles, and then you'd have a circle in the middle. So it's like you have a hard piece and then softer pieces. So it's able to like fully maneuver itself. So you can kind of do like really wacky stuff, like move a screwdriver down here and kind of. It's supposed to be like very technical, probably like for artists too. Like if you're drawing like Warhammer figures, like it's just fun. So that's, I guess I call it the Omni hand. I don't really know what else I call it. Um, I also was writing down like names. I thought to myself, like, should I go by Elisa or Elisa or Alicia or something, like with an E instead of an A? And I was like, nah, I'm good. So that's kind of like, yeah, you can see there's my Omni wheel. I was trying to conceptualize how I'd make it work, like a large ball, a large metal ball on the outside, a central gyroscopic wheel because it's hollow, and it has like either through electromagnetics, like through controls, or like through an actual like hard rail system, it would be able to change like its treads and like its propulsion methodology, like not propulsion methodology, like the way it actually like maneuvers on the ground should be able to go like 360, 180. Like that's the next level of wheels. This is more abstract. Here's another space ferry. Here's another spaceship. I draw spaceships all the time. But these you can actually see the bracketing. You see what I mean? So it has like frame, over, under, top rail, like a spine. And so it would have like a filament on the inside that you would attach like based on your mission. And so you would actually be able to rest like a hand glider on this, like laying flat with your on the controls like a motorbike, and then the wings would come out and you would kind of, this is a lot more hand maneuverable, but it's a lot lighter, and it kind of gives you like the core concept of what I imagine, like halfway between a kite and a hang glider, but you would rest on the inside and be able to still like propel it, that kind of thing. This is like an electromagnetic like disc gun, I imagine, so it has like a curved handle that you're able to like adjust the levels to, that kind of thing. This is more for like civilian and home defense. The idea is it just like shoots a discus, so instead of gun you like like it's gonna knock the fucking wind out of you, might break some ribs, but it's not gonna kill you. And it's like really difficult to miss because if you see this thing fucking coming at you, you're ducking. Like there's no way you just stand there and take that shit. With the bullet, you can kind of like, I'm taking my chances. I run the odds. But like a hockey puck coming at you at like 50 miles an hour, you're ducking. Like get the fuck out of here. You're ducking. You can't go, oh, I got a concussion from it, not brain damage. Okay, don't life threaten somebody. We have cybernetics now. This was kind of like graffiti on how I wanted to say Atlantis. I was kind of working on that. And this is what I imagine like the fuel, that little thing, the exhaust, where like all the shit comes out of. I imagine like a circle, and then it has like over plates that will kind of like curve around it so we can actually maneuver the exhaust and stuff. I don't know how Da Vinci ever talked. Like I'm like halfway between having a hard time, halfway between having the time of my life just trying to explain these things. I really just want to show somebody the picture and be like, yep, here it is. This is what it looks like. I guess this is kind of perfect then. So yeah, this is where I think this is like the finished product I imagine for saying Atlantis. Like it's waves and sails. So it's like a call sign. But I was kind of just working on it. And kind of same with this. I was like working on how I was gonna like write Magitech. This is kind of just like graffiti stuff. But like writing these geometric figures is so good for your brain. It's so good for like conceptualization. So that's kind of that. It gives you a better look. Okay. This is me drawing me in my cartoon style. I don't really like this very much, but it's good for self-concept, I guess. I don't really like this very much. I don't really like that very much. This is 210. He's the villain I made for Velvet Wakes, which is like this video game I'm gonna make. And so like basically the game starts with like you being slid this piece of paper at the coffee table you're sitting at. So 210 has a bomb. Can you help him disarm it? And like you don't really know what's going on apart from this, but basically like you are chosen in the game because they believe you are the one that can make this person disarm the like atmospheric bomb they have on their person. And so like the game is going to be about like collecting clues about their character because like you can just walk up and talk to them about it, but there's like a ghost timer of like he might just detonate it if he feels like it. Like it's very like Papers, Please hostage negotiation kind of stuff, but he's like very whimsical, and it's like you collect like collectibles like stickers like that have like sound bites, and you make like musical melodies as like atmospheric backdrops for conversations, which will help like open up different dialogue pathways and stuff like that. And it's all about like vibrational theory. Like you have to actually understand what 210 is saying to be able to convince them. Because his backstory is like he wanted to make hybrid plants for extraterrestrial use, like designing the first plant that could survive on Mars, that kind of thing. But while he's sitting there in his lab, like, because this actually happens, there's like so much unexploded ordnance in the world, like it's unreal. But like this huge piece of unexploded ordnance like falls through the barn that he's working on, falls to the ceiling, and it's like an atmospheric bomb, a secret atmospheric bomb that they're working on to like do whatever you imagine to do with it, really. probably dispersed chemical warfare. And so he kind of like understands like, wow, like the only way to end violence is the ultimate violence. And so he like redesigned it to like blacken the Earth's atmosphere and cause the next ice age. And he's like, well, violence ended. So that's 210. He's supposed to represent like the radical element within society that's been growing basically since 2016, 2013. So obviously, like I'm making plays like on my character because like I write these characters based on like what I can myself experience. I have a little bug. But the whole idea is like using this game as like a socio-educational tool of like what to do for people like this. And so I wrote quotes by him. No cause, no self, no separation. We occupy the cataclysmic intersection of native and man. I'm lying. So anticipatory of your own terror, you behave. I love that one. So anticipatory of your own terror. You're so afraid that you're going to be afraid, you behave. How do you respond to that? Because you have to convince 210. In some way, you have to convince 210 that it's not the right path. And he said, this bomb is the answer of violence. The how reverberated by the why. Believers are between two different things. Oh my God. So he's like on forums, so that's kind of where you get some of these quotes. Darkness finds me. So where I go, I'm crowned by forces beyond your words. Pernicious Deluxe. That's like his internet. You know, like on Reddit, you get like random thing, like random screen name. His was Pernicious Deluxe 210. So 2. That's him. This. Oh, this is not Pepper Sunspots. Okay, so this is like it's actually an instrument I want to make. This is how the music production screen would go on, and I kind of want to use this for like different games. And so this is the instrument you're going to use. You have your cursor right here, and each of the threads on like this mystical magical harp has like shapes on it. And so you could like get collectibles throughout the games, like either through your camera or through your phone. And so you can get stickers, and you can place stickers like on the different areas, either on the treble and bass clefs themselves, on the strings, or on the actual beat. And they'll like create like different tempos that you will like string together, like either by typing the thing out. And so it'll play out here in the background in different colors and swirling shapes. And so like in conversations with 210, it's going to highlight like his mood through colors, through vibrational sound patterns. And you need to be able to like counteract and heal each of the times you may see him like going over the edge. And so like you use this instrument to design the ways to disarm him. And so this is like the first character I got in this art style. This is Pepper Sunspots. This is me. This is like the original concept of me. It was inspired by like rodeo clowns, a little bit of Powerpuff Girls, and like American cartoon, and obviously like indigenous Wild West kind of zany is the word I use, like American hippie, you know, Burning Man, that kind of stuff. So she has like the radical glasses with the swirl on it because she's tripping. This girl's tripping. But her other glass is like, it's cracked and it's black, and she's got like a black eye, like cause she's like looking at deep space. She's like a black hole in deep space. It's another angle. I kind of gave her like an indigenous style hat, and this is kind of just showcasing her personality mainly through hair. So I draw the hair first, and she has big hair like me. And then I always draw a semicircle for the face, big cartoony lips, like with the lipstick on, and then the mouth is right underneath, well, right inside it. Because I believe that Americans speak with their mouth. Like if you want to know what Americans thinking, you gotta look at their mouth, like no matter what. And so she's got like a little nose, but it's the eye shape and color that kind of denotes the person's personality. She's got like little blush mark tattoos right here. My phone's at 10%. It's got little peace signs on them. And this is Pepper Sunspots. This is my first drawing of her. And then I was like that. I kind of like locked in the art style. This is like her real portrait. This is how she'll appear in game. Isn't that fucking gorgeous? And this is her body. There's no hands. There's not really any feet. I kind of draw their outfits as like their bodies, and I might put shoes on, that kind of thing. But I think she'll wear sandals. But you see she's got the little infinity sign tattoo on her neck. But yeah, this took me so long to color. I'm so proud of it. It's like one of my greatest art pieces. This is pepper sunspots. And so pepper sunspots is like the sunspots is like a geometric, like a geostorm on the sun, the surface of the sun, which makes it cooler, and it creates like black spots, sunspots. So I'm like, the sun's energy makes it cold. So like, nobody should ever feel guilty about being sad or having depression. Holy shit, the sun gets sad. And so pepper sunspots, they're just pepper spots, which also means like freckles. Her name's like Freckles. So here's like more character studies for her. This is how I imagine like drawing the character out. You can kind of see a little mischief, a little intrigue with the spider eyes, that kind of thing. And so it's less about like three-dimensional people walking around. It's more of like faces and personalities interacting with each other. Very artistic. This is another like one of my sketches. I think this is me underwater as a mermaid. I'm like seated and like, you know, like my knees are sitting on the ground, my legs are behind me. I'm like on a clamshell underwater. I think that's just me. Oh, and here's the last page. This is how I imagine like drawing a new kind of flag. Like, oh, like a Philippines Native American kind of flag. I kind of do something like that, but like longer, more like naval. And this is the sun with a little flower in front of it. I thought that was really pretty. And I wrote some stuff on it. I don't know what I used to say. Oh, this is kind of like just me brainstorming. It's like, it is life that never ends. Thus it is life that never ends. What is the motto of a virtuous empire? In victory, all of us, in death, none of us. Nothing else to accomplish. Let us live our lives now. There's no way to define how each of us is feeling, so let's all understand how valuable we are by virtue of us being. Death is a way to catch your breath when the flesh gets too tight. Can you imagine a star that never ceases shining? That is how I imagine my dear, sweet person. I promise to love. I promise to nurture. I promise to cherish. I promise to feel. I promise to make do. Imperial philosophy. Love life endlessly. If all we have is each other, shouldn't we cherish how precious that is?